So Sweet Baby Inc. is one of those companies that don't need really any help destroying themselves from the outside. They are perfectly fine doing that on their own. Um, and I hope to see Sweet Baby Inc. shut down at some point because I think they're doing more harm than good to video games. Every project they've worked on has failed. Every game that they've worked on has failed. And there's a reason for that because for them, it's not about the story. It's not about giving players an enriched gaming experience. No, it's about pushing a message. Getting rid of as many white people as possible, inserting diversities, having them all be gay as fuck. And that's what they're going for. But here apparently there's a massive exposure, which again, most people don't already trust this company to begin with, so but hopefully there is some actual evidence that they're bringing to the table. Sweet Baby Inc. just got exposed as a massive Canadian government-created propaganda organization. Sweet Baby Inc. exposed government-backed propaganda, and didn't we already know that they were backed? Like, aren't most of them backed by the government there? Like the same, what was it? This Polish government or whatever with which oh my god, Dustbin, weren't they backed by their government? I mean, you're gonna have to give us more than this. Now, maybe if they were secretly a group of people that met in the woods and tore babies apart and drank their blood, then maybe that'd be different. But being backed by a government, that's nothing new. That's nothing new. Who knows? Maybe they do meet in the woods and tear babies apart and drink their blood. I don't know. I don't know. Friend of the channel, Gothic Therapy, just dropped a bombshell that reported that changes the way everyone will view one of the most talked about and controversial consultancies in the modern gaming industry, Sweet Baby Inc. Make sure you're sitting down for this one because holy crap, it's bad. Again, being backed by the government or being created by, we actually on here I think I looked at one game and actually played it that was in fact pretty much created by the government. They hired someone to make this game and it was bad. I think it was like called Cat Park or Cats Park or something like that. But Sweet Baby Inc. being funded or created or whatever by a government. Oh no. Like, yeah, it's still obviously bad. Which it shows pretty much why they're the way they are and why they push so much bullshit propaganda. But again, if it was something like, they're meeting on a beach during, light hours and they're like throwing puppies and kittens into the fucking ocean, yeah, then we might have something to say. But this is nothing. This is nothing. This is gaming industry modern day. I don't know what's so surprising about this. What started out as this humble so-called narrative development studio aiming to supposedly elevate marginalized voices, may have actually been something far more sinister all along. According to Gothic Therapy's latest investigation, Sweet Baby Inc.'s founding story isn't just misleading, it may actually be a complete fabrication entirely. Well, all the greatest villains have backstories, and look at the Joker. He fabricates his all the time. No one really knows about him. You want to know how I got these scars? And then he has like 7 different variations of how he got those exact same scars. They're basically the Joker. Except not as charming, or funny, or relatable, or any of that. Adam, can I help you? Adam, come here. Oh, come here. Hi. What? What, you bubba? Yeah, you little whore. You just start rubbing. He's like, oh. Rub me like that, Grandpa. Rub me like that. Um, their video titled "The End of the Sweet Baby Lie: Hidden Founder and Built by the Government" uncovers far more than anyone would have ever imagined, and what looks like a government-backed operation posing as a small boutique studio. Again, this is nothing new. It's 2025. Seriously. Isn't that right, Bubba? He's like, I'm just like a year old. I haven't been around here long enough to understand things. Yeah. It is your birthday soon, though, I think. Yeah, next month. Next month? It's gonna be his birthday next month. Actually, I think your mom's birthday is next month, too. Or no, actually, hers is probably like this month sometime. We'll just say it's the same day so you guys can celebrate together. He's just John, you have such a good relationship with all your cats. I know, I do. I do. What, Bubba? And the receipts they brought are on the table are damning to say the least. This isn't just another takedown. This is a funeral, and the thing in the casket isn't just Sweet Baby Inc. It's their origin myth. The buried founder, literally buried. They killed him or her. It's 2025, so either way, really. While their initial public story claims that Kim Belair, Dave Beddard, and Ariane McGill, okay, came together and founded Sweet Baby Inc. In 2008, but Gothic Therapy found official filings that tell a different story. The mysterious man, oh god, we have mysterious men now, named Terrence Jason Hubert, A. Bears, was actually listed as vice president, director, and shareholder from the very beginning. Of course, oddly, he was erased from the records nearly a year later with absolutely no explanation. What? Did you want to go out? Yeah? He's very mouthy. All right. Whenever he wants to get out, he just starts getting mouthy. And then he'll just kind of like walk with me over to the door and just open it up and I'll be like, thank you, Grandpa. Now where was I? The cover-up going on here is pretty clear. The Sweet Baby Inc. filings were retroactively changed to assign all of Hubert's shares to Kim Belair, painting her as somehow the sole founder in the media narratives. They didn't just update the paperwork, they rewrote the past. Government ties exposed. Here's where it all gets really wild. Gothic Therapy traced Terrence Johnson Hubert back to Terry Hubert, a former British Columbia legislator and government official who served in the late 80s and 90s. In archived interviews, he mentions having a son named Jason, and they added up some same rare names, same province, same corporate filing, fingerprints. Pretty sure this is direct match to the same individual. The odds, according to Gothic Therapy, 1 in a million that it's a coincidence, but it goes way deeper. That's what she said. Terry Huberts is once authored a government framework that embedded private contractors into public systems. Wow, curious. Would you look at that? Second identity. To top it off, Gothic Therapy discovered that the company has registered an alternate corporate name, Design Sweet Baby, filed on the exact same day as Sweet Baby Inc. Why create the lifeboat, though? Was this backup plan for when the first identity eventually collapsed? Will this mysterious stranger be able to defeat Frieza and his father? Find out on the next exciting episode of Dragon Ball Z. The revelation here is changes everything we've been told, and why shouldn't it? Doesn't really matter. In the end, it's still a shit company. This is just putting sprinkles on top of it. I mean, they're old, rotten sprinkles that are falling apart and all that, but it's not going to get anything, and it's not going to go anywhere because it's still a shit company. And no matter what, there are still corporations out there who are going to work with them. So this doesn't change a thing. Like, it may expose things that we didn't know, but again, it's not that shocking considering nowadays governments are more inclined to work with gaming companies because they know the power of the influence that these companies have. Again, the Polish or whatever with fucking Dustbin. Same thing. So it's not as damning as they think. It's just gonna make the people who already didn't like them not like them even more. But if they're a hardcore freaking simp for this company and they're just gonna, oh yeah, it's not gonna change a thing. Companies are still gonna work with them. So it's kind of pointless right now. If everything they've done up to this point hasn't gotten people to stop working with them, this isn't gonna change a thing. It's just not. This revelation here challenges everything we've been told. And why shouldn't it? It's not like anyone should believe a damn thing this company spews. The curated image of a small, progressive grassroots team fighting to get for diversity in games looks more and more like, in the end, was all just a well-funded facade backed by state resources and stealth influence. And again, even if it was, it doesn't change anything because they're still a company and they're still going to be working with gaming other companies. And people are still going to hire them. Again, I would love to see them go out of business. I really would, but it's not going to happen. It's not going to happen at all. Instead, these people are going to stick around, and it's going to be like it's always been. They work with a company, they make a game, the game doesn't do well, and instead of these people facing repercussions, having to lay people off, no, it's the game company who's going to have to lay off 100 people and possibly close studios. So I would not love nothing more to see these people, Kim Belair and everyone else at Sweet Baby Inc. I would love to see them all lose their jobs. I really would. Let them feel what's been happening to the other people they've been working with. Having to close down shop, having to fire people. Let them feel that because they haven't felt it. Because once they get paid, they're good. So if a game company goes under, it doesn't matter. They've already been paid. The wake has begun. This isn't a conspiracy anymore. It's evidence-backed, documented, supported, investigation done magnificently by Master of the TDS and his wife, Riding Raven. It all begs the question, how many more studios or consultancies are secretly propped up to push political or ideological agendas under the guise of storytelling? Could Sweet Baby Inc. be the lone outlier? Will Goku be able to defeat Jiren? Find out on the next exciting episode on Dragon Ball Super. But again, it doesn't matter. It really doesn't matter. If they were doing something crazy, out of the ordinary, then maybe you'd have a case here to try to turn people. But no. It's 2025. The government sees how powerful gaming actually is, how influential it can be, and they want a piece of that pie. It's as simple as that. So great. They're secretly government funded or created by the government. Who cares? It doesn't change anything. So the only way people will actually be able to do something against Sweet Baby Inc. is to stop buying games that have been worked on by Sweet Baby Inc. Once these companies see that no one is having their bullshit anymore, then these companies will be more inclined to say, hey, you know what? We're stepping away from you. We're not going to work with you anymore. Only then will change actually happen. But exposing them as government funded and government created, it's not going to do anything. You need to vote with your wallets. So if you know that a game is Sweet Baby Inc. Collaborated, don't buy it because you know it's going to be a steaming pile of dog shit. But anyway, that's going to do it for me. You guys know the drill. I'll see you guys later. Bye, guys.